Hello, everyone. Hello. We're going to get started here in a minute. Just waiting for a few more people to come in. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this live stream. Today, this is going live as of October 21st in the States, and it may be a different day whenever you're watching this, or if you are located somewhere other than the U.S. Glad that you're here, and I'm in Angola recording this for you today. Had somebody tell me that they missed the fact that I was in multiple locations all the time. So today I'm in Angola. There we go. Seems like a good enough place. And today is going to be full of packed information. We've got a number of things in store, so we're going to start out by reading or looking at some news items and discussing some news. Then, and there's quite a bit of that this week. Then we will move on to discussing Android, and in particular Android apps in Windows 11. And I will try to do a demo of that and see how that goes. And then Kurt is going to do a demonstration of the YouTube web app. So that is what is in store for today. And so that will be good. So get your popcorn out. Get ready for the fun. I want to thank the new subscribers who are here. There are a number of you who are new. We've added about 10 this past week, so thank you very much for subscribing and checking the stream out. If you do like the content, feel free to hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're not already. Share it out with your friends, put it on Snapchat, tweet it, etc., etc. And Lee says, oh, okay, popcorn, very good. Yes, get your popcorn out, that's right. It's going to be a movie. All right. Here we go. So let's turn off the music and then we'll start off with the news. There we go. We'll kill the music and we'll go ahead and get started with the news. And this week there's been a number of items because of course we have the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro releases, the new Macs, and lots of other stuff besides. So this first article is going to be from XDA, and this is about YouTube Music's free plan. So it is actually losing some features, and namely the displaying of videos. So if you're used to seeing a video for music, like music videos, for the free app, that is going kish kish, bye bye, no more. So that is that. T-Mobile is starting some new promotions, and they're going to be giving up to $1,000 if you switch to their network and get a new phone. So you have to turn in your existing phone and all that, but they will give you up to $1,000 to switch, and they pay off the phone that came from your previous carrier. So if you have a bill owed with them for a specific phone, then that might be the way to go. And if you like T-Mobile anyway, that might be something to check out. AMD, we had this whole discussion of AMD last week and the week before about how they were slowing things down in Windows 11. It seems like there's been a fix for that, so feel free to download those updates, and maybe your AMD processor will be working a little bit faster in Windows 11 again. Got an article on the M1 Pro and M1 Max. So these are processors that Apple's released for their new MacBooks. And so if you get their new MacBooks, depending on the configuration, you'll either get the M1 Pro or the M1 Max for their high-end Mac Pros. And so this article goes into the comparison of the two chips. Kind of an interesting read there, and you can decide whether it's worth spending an additional $700 to $800 to get the new Max instead of the Pro. But both of them are going to be quite responsive, quite fast, quite beefy, etc., etc. All right, let's see here. Kurt says the link is not working, so let's get him in here. I'm going to email Kurt the link here, and that way he can get in here. There we go. All right. So let's see here. Where were we at before? Oh yes, the M1 Pro or the M1 Max. It might be worth looking at these if you're interested, and then you can figure out if you'd like to pay for the additional cost. Visual Studio Code Editor, they now have a web app version, which is really interesting. So if you want to do development through the web, and I happen to know that there is accessibility features built in, the keyboard shortcuts, that kind of thing. But if you want to do that, maybe for instance on a Chromebook, I don't know, or just generally want to move to the web, you can certainly use the Visual Studio Code Editor web app and find out more about it. There's a link in the description, which is rather cool, I think. There's an article about Android 11 with the Windows 11. Windows 11. The Android app support is available in the beta, and that will be discussed later in this podcast. All right, so let's see here. There's also a hands-on with Android apps. All right. So if you want to know more about the 6 or the 6 Pro, the new Pixels that are out, feel free to check out the link in the description. It'll link to a lot of the specs, but they're basically high-end sort of flagship-y phones. There's a lot of information on those. Google has released their own processor this year in the Pixels, so they're not using the Snapdragons anymore. They're using what they're calling Google Tensor. They come with Android 12. They're fast, they're responsive, great processors, etc., etc. Okay, let's see here. The Pixel 6 has 8 gigs of RAM, starts at 128 gigs of storage, goes up to 256. The 6 Pro has 12 gigs of RAM, starts at 128 gigs of storage, goes up to 512, only in certain colors. So depending on the color that you get, that depends on the storage size that you can possibly get. The come with this tensor. Both of them do. The Pixel 6 has two cameras, a regular 50 megapixel camera and a ultra wide. The Pixel 6 Pro adds the telephoto lens. So there is that. Screen's a bit bigger on the 6 Pro. They're using Gorilla Glass 7, or they call it Victus, on the front and the back of the Pro, whereas the 6 only has it on the front, and on the back they're using Gorilla Glass 6. So the Pro is probably a little bit tougher. The sides on the Pro are sort of a glossy feel to them. They're not textured. The ones on the 6 are like a matte feel to them. They're textured, and some people say that they're similar to the ones on the Pixel 5. Some of the reviewers anyway have said that, which means that some people will probably think they're plastic, but who knows? They're supposed to be still premium build metal. So yeah, the 6 in the US starts at $599, and the 6 Pro starts at $899, but you can undoubtedly find some kind of deals with your carrier. If you are with a carrier, you can probably find some good deals. They also announced the Pixel Pass, or the yeah, it's basically a way to get a subscription for either a Pixel 6 or a Pixel 6 Pro. You can also get, with that subscription, Google One and the YouTube Music Premium and YouTube Premium. So, and the insurance, all that you can get for $55 a month for the Pro, or $45 a month for the regular Pixel 6, which is a pretty good deal. The one caveat to that is that you cannot be subscribed to a family plan when you do this. So if you're currently sharing your membership with your family, that is not going to work. And that's called the Pixel Pass. Okay, then there's an article regarding MacBook Pro 14-inch versus 16-inch. So if you want to learn about the differences between those, feel free to check those out. What I like about the new Macs is they've added the some ports, so you're actually getting some additions this year. The touch bar is gone, replaced by function buttons again. It's kind of funny. Last year they gave us back the ding sound, and this year they're giving us back the touch, the function bar, or the function buttons. So that's good. Also, we're getting Thunderbolt ports as usual, but in addition, we're also getting HDMI and SD card slot. So that's kind of a change as well. Oh, and MagSafe. So if you're interested in MagSafe, that'll be here, and it's a fast charging MagSafe. So it's not like the old MagSafe. Seems like a lot of the complaints that people have had about the newer Macs, it seems like they're maybe being addressed this year, so that's good. So the AirPods 3 are similarly designed to the AirPods Pro, and they have spatial audio. They're costing $179. Those are available. Those are also announced. HomePod Mini got some new colors. Apple is announcing a new voice plan for Apple Music, so something to check out there. Google Calendars adding some new features. They're always adding new features, but this one is specifically called Focus Time, so allows you to set up time to focus on your calendar, and so that's good. Samsung has announced the Z Flip 3, the Bespoke Edition. It's got 49 new color combinations. see here. Sorry about that. Just chatting with Kurt. Apparently he's having a hard time getting into the stream, so not sure what's going on there. Yep, so anyway, there's some like new backs or something that you can have on your Z Flip 3, so it's kind of interesting. And you can make some different combinations of colors with that new device. It's actually a pretty nice device. I think Blind Android Users has done a demo of that, so maybe worth checking their demo out. Someone on there has done that. But it's a pretty decent device. The biggest issue I have with it is the battery life, but still pretty decent device. So Pixel 6 and 6 Pro are there's been some issues with the store. It was down for a while on pre-order day, and then of course a lot of them sold out. So if your choice is not available for you to buy, you can certainly get on a wait list, and I would say most of the options for the 6 Pro are certainly not available. And shipping times, it seems like when I checked earlier today, have slipped for the 6 Pro, the ones that are available, to December. So if you're interested in that, you might want to get in as soon as you can. Uh-oh. I have a mystery guest in here. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see, who's the mystery guest? Let's add this mystery guest. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I was having a lot of trouble getting the link to work on my end, so I probably missed a lot of news.
Yeah, you missed a lot of news, but that's okay. Let's see, where am I at here? Oh, talking about the Pixel 6. So if you go try to place it in your cart and it's not available, there is an option to add it to a wait list. And you'll be notified, and then you'll be able to place your order when it becomes available, because a lot of them are completely out of stock, at least for now, or the ones that are available have shipping times down back to December. I do have one on the way, so we'll be doing a unboxing of that once it comes in, although a lot of people will be. So I don't know, I'm kind of hesitating whether or not I want to do that, but probably will anyway.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Facebook is looking at a name change. We don't know what that is, but they're looking at possibly changing their name and doing a rebrand. And the idea is that they're trying to let people know that they are much bigger than simply social networking, and because they have pretty bad rap right now for a lot of stuff that they've done.
Surprise.
So, yeah, they're looking at changing the name and the brand, and so we might be looking at a whole new Facebook, or maybe the overall company will change their name, but Facebook will be kind of a subset of that company, similar to Alphabet and Google and that whole thing.
I was just gonna say that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Let's see. Verizon, if you're with Visible Wireless, you may have been hacked and you may have been charged thousands of dollars, or at least some people were. So if you're with Visible, I'm sorry to say you were probably hacked. Or at least some customers were. So I would keep a very close eye on your statements and make sure that you have two-factor authentication set up and that kind of thing. Do the best that you can. And I'm very sorry for you. And my very favorite article for the very end. Apple adds $19 polishing cloth to its online store. I wonder what's so special about it.
Because it's an Apple product, so that's what's special.
I mean, it's just a little thin cloth. I don't really understand why this thing is $19, but
because Apple can't charge anything less than $20 for, and like, isn't their charging brick even like $30? Like their little 5-watt tiny little thing, like, don't they charge ridiculous
I'm not sure, probably. I do know that the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro do not come with chargers. That's especially bad this year because people who are using older Pixels have 18-watt chargers, And the new Pixels can charge up to 30 watts, at least 30 watts. So if you want a faster charger this year, you will have to buy it from Google. I mean, you could probably buy a third-party one, but you could buy it from Google, and they're charging $25
I
for
mean,
a 30-watt
30
charger.
watts. That's like I don't like not having a charger in the box, obviously, but that seems like a reasonable price. Do you know, will it work with any power delivery chargers that are up to 30 watts, or is it like its own proprietary
I
thing
don't
like
know, but it
Samsung?
should. I mean, usually they do, so I would say we'll have to wait and find out, but it should.
Okay.
The one that is not going to be backwards compatible is their wireless charger, so they can charge up to 23 watts depending on which model that you get of Pixel 6 or 6 Pro. And but to charge at that rate, you have to have the Pixel wireless charging stand, which has actually been delayed. It's not out yet. But anyway, that's one that you can use. Otherwise, they'll charge at 15, I think 12 or 15 watts, something like that.
Man, I feel
So-
like if you have a 23-watt wireless charger, you might not need to have heating for your house. Like,
Yeah, it's possible. It does have built-in fans, so yeah.
it just seems like a lot of power for a wireless charger. That scares me a little bit.
And now that Kurt's here, I will go back to that Pixel 6 Pro event just to talk about the fun experience with the website. Did you hear about this?
You mean trying to launch the stream?
No, I mean about trying to pre-order the devices.
Oh, yeah. It looks like Google, they didn't quite anticipate how many people would want them or something.
Yep. So for a long time, if you go to the website or you went to the website on pre-order day during their stream, you got an error. You could not actually get to their website. It was like a 500 error or something. It was down. 502. So it was down. And then you refreshed, and then you got to the cart, or you got to the Pixel page. So then you go to add it to your cart. And it lets you add it to your cart, but then you couldn't go to checkout. It gave some other error. I forget what the error number is. It gave some other error that every time you went to checkout. And so then I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So I'm going to look it up on Reddit and all this. And well, people on Reddit were like, yeah, this is an error that they weren't very happy. Of course, there's a whole long Reddit thread about this. Well, some people, they did manage to get through, and they did manage to purchase their device. And then probably about, 15, 20 minutes later, they get an email, oh, sorry, your device order has been canceled. Some people, it seems, were double charged. So
Lovely.
they placed an order, and then probably they were hitting the button too many times, and they're like, oh, it's not going through, so I'll just do it again. It's not going through, I'll do it again. So yeah, they were double charged. I mean, it's all working now, but it was just kind of interesting. Like, some of the stuff I was seeing on Reddit was, this is Google, and, if they can't manage to keep a website like this running, then, like, people were saying, yeah, we can just go to Best Buy and buy it from there, et cetera, et cetera. It was kind of interesting. It was like, wow.
Yeah, and wouldn't you even get the Pixel Buds bundled in there if you got it from Best Buy?
I'm not sure. I think you may be able to from Target. I don't know about Best Buy, maybe. But yeah, if you get it from the Google store and you pre-ordered, you could get the Pixel Buds, the A series.
Okay.
You could get those thrown in. And of course, if you have Google One, depending on the plan, you could save 10%. So,
Ooh, I didn't realize that. I might have to check that out.
yeah. So here we got Torrent. Let's see. What's your comment say? Let's see some Android magic inside of Windows. Is it finally time to get rid of BlueStacks? Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, we'll certainly get to that here soon. And I appreciate all of you for watching. If you're here watching, feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Glad that you're here. Share it out with your friends. Tweet it. And that is good.
Ooh, you're a popular man.
I think sometimes my phone stores notifications for a while, and then like I don't know, once an hour or once every couple hours, it just starts ping, ping, ping.
It just saves them up for when you're in the middle of the stream.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so for the rest of the stream, what we're going to do is I'll try to go through this process of installing and using these Android apps. And the way it works is you install the Amazon App Store from the Windows Store, and you log into that, and then you should be able to download Android apps from there. And there's apparently a very limited selection of apps that you can possibly get. And so then what happens is that when you open those Android apps up, you can enable screen readers using a keyboard shortcut. And if you use this keyboard shortcut, it'll enable screen reader mode, and then you can use the Talkback specific hotkeys. So those Talkback specific hotkeys, or similar to Talkback hotkeys anyway, they are things like Alt plus right arrow to go to next, Alt left arrow to go to previous, that kind of thing. So actually, I'll go through the keyboard shortcuts here, and then
it's a little disappointing. We only get the Talkback ones.
Yeah.
I would miss my Chromevox there, I think.
So the keyboard shortcut to turn it on for the screen reader mode is Windows key, Control, and the letter T. So once you do that, you could do that from any time that you're using an app within the Android subsystem. So you can first open up Windows subsystem for Android in the search box, and that'll pop up, open up that app, and then you can press that hotkey. Touch input is not enabled, so it's only keyboard input at this time, which actually is going to be a pretty big limitation, I think. But touch input's automatically turned off. The keyboard shortcuts, if you go back, to go to the back, you have to hit Alt backspace. So this is, again, similar to Talkback. To navigate to the next item is Alt right arrow. Navigate to previous is Alt left arrow. Item above is Alt up arrow. Item below is Alt down arrow. Navigate to the first item, Alt Control left arrow. Last item, Alt Control right arrow. Let's see which is interesting here. There's next word, next character, previous character. Okay, so select focused element is Alt Enter. Select and hold the focused element, Alt Shift Enter. Read from next items, Alt Control Shift Enter. Read from the top is Alt Control Enter. And then there's a lot of web navigation commands. So for example, to go to next button is Alt B. To go to previous button is Alt Shift B. Checkbox is X. It's the same format, Alt X or Alt Shift X. Landmark is D. Combo box is Z for some reason. Control is C. Editable field is E. Focus focus item is Alt F. Graphic is Alt G. Heading is H. You can also use Alt 1 through 6 to go to the different levels. Link is L. O is list. List item is I. And T is table. So those are some of the keyboard shortcuts, quite a number of them. And yeah, Some other accessibility features that we have, so we have the screen reader. A lot of the accessibility features that are used within Windows, such as text scaling, closed captions, dark theme, and colored filters, those are going to apply to Android apps as well. So if you're using any of those will work. All right, let's see here. To switch between Windows apps and Android apps, if you hit Alt-Tab, it'll say something like Windows Subsystem, or Subsystem Screen Reader, rather. And then you can use Windows Control-T to switch to it. You can turn off the screen reader from Windows, so that way it's not interfering. Touch input is turned off. You can use Windows magnifier. If you're zoomed in Windows, it should be zoomed in on Android as well. Text cursor magnification is not currently supported. So that's kind of interesting. Alright, so let's see. What else do we need to know? Right now it's for beta users only. So there we go.
Yeah,
Device requirements, you have to be running Windows 11. Alright, let's try to install the subsystem and we'll see what happens. There's a number of ways that we can do this. We can open up the Windows Store and search for Amazon App Store and install it that way. And we do that, the Windows subsystem for Android will be installed on your PC, is what it says. We can also search for a mobile app on the Microsoft Store. The Microsoft App Store and Windows subsystem for Android will be installed before the mobile app is installed. So when that's installed, the Windows subsystem for Android settings app and the Amazon App Store will appear in the Start menu and your apps list. To download mobile apps, you have to have an Amazon account. So when you're ready, you have to open up the Amazon App Store, sign in with your Amazon account, and once it's installed, once you're signed in, you install the app. Then you can just open it up directly from your Start menu and app list. There is a limitation for file system. It says here that the file systems are not tied together, so separate and different from Windows, and files from Android cannot be transferred to Windows. Files in Windows cannot be seen in Android land. So if you need to, you can open up the Windows Subsystem Settings app, select Files. Your files in the subsystem will open. You can browse any images, videos, documents, etc. that are saved in that subsystem. Okay. Having provided all that information, and these are articles that are found right on Microsoft's site that will guide you through this. So let's go ahead and try to follow this process. So I have not done this on this particular machine yet, so we're going to do this side by side. I'm going to enable. Let's see here, share screen. All right, we're going to share system audio. Okay, there we go. Well, I suppose you guys want me to slow down the speech, maybe. And we'll switch voices. Windows 1 Core.
Red Circle Live Studio. Restream Desktop Content Shared Google Chrome Canary Nimmer.
Okay. Here we go. So let's try this process out. And first thing we're going to do is go to the Windows Store or Microsoft Store. and we're going to search for Amazon App Store.
Start window.
So I'm going to
Search
go to search, to the start menu, just by hitting the Windows key. I'll just type in
Sticky Notes. Microsoft Store. App.
STO,
Press right to switch
and it
preview
comes
one
up
of
to the
one level
Microsoft Store, so I'll hit enter.
1. Microsoft Store. Microsoft Store window.
There we go.
Button.
All right, so now I'm in the store, and I'll just hit Control E. That should get me to search, I hope.
See all top deals. Free Guy 2021.
Let's see.
Search grouping.
Yep.
Search edit
Search,
blank.
Control E. There we go. And I'm going to search for Amazon
Eight
Store.
suggestions.
Oh, it says I have suggestions. So let's up, down arrow.
Amazon 1 of 8. Amazon's 2 of 8. Amazon.com 3 of 8. Amazon Prime Video. Alexa app. Amazon Music app. Reader for Amazon Shopping app for Toshiba app. Amazon. Space.
Okay, it doesn't have what I'm looking for, so I'll just type in Amazon Store, and I'll hit enter.
Amazon Store. Amazon Store heading 1. Filters toggle. All departments toggle. Search group.
And let's see if we can
User
find it
profile.
here.
Home 1 of Amazon Store heading 1. All departments. Amazon Prime Video for Windows. Search grouping. Classic Stars Screensaver Entertainment. Amazon Store heading 1. Filters all depart. Amazon Music Boots UK
So
help.
I'm just
Classic
hitting
Stars,
down arrow.
Mike
Let's see
Arfak,
if we can find this
Jupiter 3,
Amazon.
Sudoku Vulcan RF. Student Doctor. Magnolia. Tap. Cadoba. Estate Sale. Sudoku. Jupiter 3. Mike Arfak. Class. Boots UK. Amazon Music. Amazon Prime Football Store Sports. Amazon Prime Video. Football. Alexa. Fashion Store. Price check. Boots inventory. Sub. Classic Star. Save.
So I'm not seeing the Amazon Store
Search
here.
grouping.
So
Search edit
let's just search
blank.
for.
S. 8 suggestions. 8 suggestions.
Let's just search for Amazon. See what happens.
Amazon. Results updated. Amazon heading 1. All departments. Amazon Prime Video for Amazon Music.
No, we're not looking for Amazon Prime.
Girl Amazon uploader for music player. Amazon Shopping app for dropshipping tiles. Mirror.
Not looking for
cast,
Amazon Shopping. So
third
for
party,
whatever reason, I'm not actually
Amazon,
able to find
Amazon Rainforest. Tiles for Amazon Wildlife. Amazon
the
guide,
Amazon App
Jack,
Store here.
Amazon, Hotel Amazon 1 season. Search group and blank. Amazon App Store. Results updated. No
So that's
results
just for
found.
Amazon App Store,
heading
no
1.
results found.
All departments.
Oh, that's
Amazon
very
Prime
good.
Video for filters toggle. Help not selected. Home 1 of.
Let's see. I'm running beta here. Let's stop the screen share, and I'll
Red
just do a
Circle
little
Live
bit of
Studio.
troubleshooting here. And
Microsoft
in the
Store
meantime,
tool
maybe we'll
set.
go to
Studio.restream.
Kurt's demo
Studio.
of YouTube web app,
Stop. Hide.
and I will come back with results of
Stop.
this finding of the Amazon App Store.
All right. Imagine that. Something didn't work as expected.
That's
Well,
right.
So, are people supposed to be able to sideload apps at all? Like if there's something that's not in the Amazon store, are you just out of luck?
Eventually, you might be able to, but at the moment, don't believe that you can.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. What's going on out there? Are you recording from a construction zone or?
That's right. Well, I am sitting outside, so.
Yeah, it's probably nice out. I heard the airplanes a minute ago. That was kind of cool. Anyways, so I wanted to demo the YouTube web app. Now, eventually I'll probably get tired of showing web apps here, but I think just because, well, two reasons that I am so fascinated with them right now. One is this is fairly new to me. I'm used to doing things either on my phone or using websites with your standard keyboard commands and, you know, navigating around by headings and doing the find functions and, you know, virtual PC cursor or whatever system your screen reader has to do that, which obviously has its place for most of the internet. I'm not bashing those systems, but like you can get so used to using those that you don't realize that there are actually other ways of using websites. And like, I consider myself a pretty tech savvy guy. I work in tech support, whatever. And for years, I just didn't realize that there was this other way. And it's comparable to the way I think a lot of sighted people use the internet. So that's why I'm so taken with these web apps lately. And I just wanted to briefly demo why I think the YouTube web app is more efficient and much more fun, frankly, than watching YouTube videos either on your phone or on your computer, just with your regular screen readers functions. So, what I'm going to do here is get a screen share set up. Okay. And let's see what's going on here. Nimmer, how do I close the settings page on this restream? It's looking like it's keeping me from seeing the normal restream.
Just find the settings button and press enter on it again.
Oh, okay. That's easy enough.
Okay, so I actually will not be able to do the Android app demo today.
Lovely.
And here's the reason why. So they rolled it out to their beta builds, but they have not rolled it out. So I'm a insider, Windows insider, on their dev builds, on their dev channel. They actually say on their right on the description of the or in their introduction of their blog post to this feature that they have not rolled it out to the dev builds, but for some reason, I'm not sure why, but they did roll it out to their beta channel. So if you want to try this, you have to be an insider on the beta channel. I do have it on another machine, and so what I'll do is probably record a demo of that, because I'm not going to go live right now with that machine, so I will record a demo of that and try to get that out. But anyway, hopefully that description of the way that they do work is helpful, and I would say that they work okay, because I actually have tried this feature on another machine, as I said, that is running the beta, and they do work okay. But the problem is Android keyboard support I wouldn't call great. So there are some limitations with that, and issues with scrolling can sometimes be a problem. So some of the same issues that impact like using Chromebook, Android within Chrome, and I think Kurt can always speak to that too, but some of the same issues there are definitely issues in this build as well, and those are dependent on the apps and dependent on what you're trying to do. So some things are going to work okay, but some things I would say are not. I'm more excited for once they do roll out touch support. Right now they don't have touch support. But yeah, so anyway, in order to try this out, you do have to download or sign up for the beta builds. So definitely get on that, through the insider channel. Sign up as a beta to their beta channel, and you'll be able to access it that way. So I will try to record a demo and get that out, within the next few days on here. So stay tuned to the channel for that. But unfortunately, we'll not be able to demo that today. So. Oh, welcome back.
Hey,
Looks like you got removed.
I got removed, and yeah, I refreshed the page because
Ah,
for
okay.
some reason, the screen share button is not on the studio page here, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, like it usually is there.
That's very strange. Should be there. Maybe make sure you're maximized.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're just having all kinds of fun today, aren't we?
Yeah. How do I actually make sure my Chrome window is maximized here, Nimmer?
Oh man, and I'm not laughing at you. It's kind of interesting. So you'll have to do is go to the very top,
Okay.
like go to the address bar or something, and then swipe, go left. So do I don't know, Control L or something. Go to the
Alright.
address bar, and then use what is that? Search left arrow.
Gotcha.
That should get you there.
I mean, I've seen that menu with like the reload and forward and search tabs and
Oh yeah.
here we go.
Okay, you got there.
Well,
Yep. So there should be a button says share screen.
there should be, and I've seen it before on all our other. Here we go.
Here we go. Maximizing helps.
Yeah, I had just assumed it was, but that's interesting. Okay. All right, so I'm going to share my system audio here. All right, I am sharing my screen after all those technical difficulties, and I appreciate you helping me figure this Chrome. I've had this for I think going on 2 months now, and most of the things I've figured out. But as you can see, I'm still learning some of the finer points, and that is actually a very useful trick I just learned. So thank you for that, Nimmer. Now, as I was saying about the YouTube web app, it gives you a lot more functionality than you have just watching YouTube videos with your JAWS or your VoiceOver or your whatever screen reader of choice. And the main reason for that is going to be because of all of the extra keyboard shortcuts you have in the web app that you don't normally have just with your screen reader's normal navigation here. So, what I'm going to do is go to the tab where I have YouTube opened. Well, first let me slow this down here for people because I know we'll get some complaints about that.
Rate 67%. Rate 50%. Rate 40%. Rate 37%. Pitch 39%.
Oh no, let's change the pitch back here.
Pitch 44%.
All right.
Play local video.
There we go. As always, let us know in the comments if that's too fast or too slow, and probably it won't make a difference for you, but feel free to let us know. I feel like there's no way to please everybody on the speech. It's going to be too fast for some, too slow for others.
Yep, and then maybe try. I don't know what video you're gonna play. Maybe try playing something from our channel or something to avoid any kind of people getting mad at us.
Oh yeah, yep. That was the plan. I wasn't gonna
Cool.
like. I know.
The host unmuted your screen share.
I know we're both wage slaves here and can't afford to be sued for copyright infringement. All right, so let me go into the YouTube tab I have open.
Settings. Kurt. Full screen open paren F. Android apps in Windows : is it possible ? Pixels,
Alright.
Macs, YouTube web.
So I am now in the YouTube. Now, as with all web apps,
Volume
if you
72%.
are using JAWS or NVDA or VoiceOver or Narrator, you are going to want to make sure that your default web navigation mode is turned off. So in JAWS, that's going to be insert Z to turn off the virtual PC cursor. NVDA, it's insert space. VoiceOver, you're going to want to make sure your quick nav is off. And with Narrator, you're going to want to turn scan mode off. And with the Chromebook, you want to have sticky mode off as well, which is how I am going to experience this. Let me just make sure my sticky mode is off.
Sticky mode enabled.
Oh no, turn it off.
Sticky mode disabled.
All right. So I'll go to the top of the page here and just...
Guide. YouTube home. Visited. Skip navigation.
I'm just doing search right arrow to
Skip
move
navigation.
through the page.
Skip navigate. Search. Edit. Search. Search. Search with your voice. Search with your voice. Create. Create. YouTube apps.
All right, so this should look familiar because I'm just going through the standard YouTube website here. So what I will do is go search for the Nimmer Tech and Outdoor Adventures channel.
Search. Edit text.
So I pressed Chromevox Shift E to go back to that edit box for search, and I will type
Search. N. Clear. Search filters. Did you mean : Niner Tech?
no, I did not
Nimmer
mean
Tech and
Niner
Outdoor
Tech.
Adventures 389 subscribers bullet 91 videos. My name is Nimmer, a blind fan of tech and adventure. This is my YouTube channel, formerly home to the Blind Tech Guys podcast.
All right, so I will open this with the Chromevox
Nimmer
space.
Tech and Out Guide. YouTube home. Skip navigation. Skip navigate. Search. Clear search. 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 Create. YouTube apps. Notifications.
All right, now to quickly get down to the videos here, I'm going to do a search and slash
Find
to
in
open up
page.
my find function.
Share. Delete.
And then,
Liked, videos, liked, videos, tab. 2 of 5.
all right, so that brought me down into the list of actions for the channel. I'll press enter on this to
Videos,
move me down to
tab.
the videos. And I'll do search in space to open up this videos tab. Now, why I think that Chromebooks are particularly good for web apps is because normally you are pressing the search key and like H for heading navigation or B for button navigation or whatever else. You don't really have to toggle between modes. So like I can still easily use those screen reader navigation commands without having to, keep toggling on and off my virtual PC cursor. So I kind of get the best of both worlds here. So I'm going to go press search and H to go by headings, just because I know that's how YouTube shows these videos.
Android apps in Windows : is it possible ? Pixels, Macs,
All right, let me change my punctuation. That's really annoying. I was looking up keyboard shortcuts earlier and had to have that on, so I will Chromevox A and P.
No punctuation. Some punctuation.
There we go. Now it's normal. So I can do heading navigation to move around by the list of videos here.
Basic HTML versus standard Gmail comparison and demo using multiple screen readers by Nimmer Tech and Out. Pulling Braille Note Touch out of the toilet tank by Nimmer Tech and Outdoor Adventures streamed 1 week ago.
All
1
right.
hour,
Now let me
24
go back
minutes,
to
91 views.
the one we're playing right
Pulling
now.
Braille. Basic HTML versus Android apps in Windows. Is it possible?
Well,
Pixels. Macs.
no, we'll do
YouTube
the basic
web apps.
HTML one from last week.
Basic HTML versus Standard Gmail comparison and using multiple screen readers
so
by
I'll press
Nemer.
enter on
Basic
this.
HT YouTube video.
This is a lot more efficient than any possible.
Pause.
All right. Let me press space to pause. So right away, I just showed one way where the YouTube app is superior to just you watching videos without it, is I can press space to play or pause. So I can press space again.
Play.
Possible way that you were going through your emails
video
in the
starts
basic
playing.
HTML mode.
Now, let's say I want to wind.
Because in the basic HTML mode, you have a checkbox, and then you have
I
the
can
who
press
sent
left
the
arrow
email,
to
and then you have a
rewind
link,
by 10
and then
seconds.
you have the time, and then you have another box, and then you have the who sent the email, and then you have a link. In the basic HTML mode, you have a checkbox, and then you have the
Can press
who
right
sent
arrow
the
to
email,
fast
and then you
forward.
have a. I can't imagine any possible way of going through your list of emails in the basic HTML.
Pause.
Press space to pause there. So now, if you were trying to do that on the YouTube website with your normal screen reader navigation commands, you're going to have a lot harder time finding those buttons. Even if you're a pro and you know that find function like the back of your hand, it's not going to be as fast as just these keyboard shortcuts. Now, let me say I want to go to the start of the video. I will press the 1 key.
Play.
Anyway, yep. So that was the
to-
comment.
Pause.
Well, that took me 10% into the video. Let me see.
Play.
And there was something else.
Pause.
There should be a keyboard shortcut to go to the very beginning. So how the keyboard shortcuts I was just using here are, you can press like the number 1 to go 10% of the way through, 2 to go to 20% of the way through. And let me actually go really quick to see if there's one to go to the start of the video. I don't know that there is, but I can at least show you how I
Try the number zero.
Oh, I thought that brought me to the end, but okay.
Something else in there about Outlook for Android. I don't know if you use Outlook for Android.
Oh, cool.
Pause.
That makes sense. 0 to go to 0%. I thought 0 would take me to the end, but that's cool. Dang it, Nimmer, I was going to show everyone how I open up the keyboard shortcuts, but that probably would have been...
It's important to do.
Okay, all right. So, now with most web apps, what you're going to want to do is figure out what the keyboard shortcuts are so that you can know the ways of moving around and interacting with everything. So, to open up that list, it's going to be the question mark.
Sticky mode enabled. Sticky mode disabled. Keyboard shortcuts.
Alright, so I pressed question mark, and it didn't tell me right off the bat that it moved me to keyboard shortcuts, but when I moved down to the next element on the page, it was obviously right there. So,
Playback. Toggle play/pause. K. Rewind 10 seconds.
so that's K or space. I usually just do space, but
J. Fast forward 10 seconds. Previous video. P shift plus P. Next video. N shift plus N. Previous frame while paused. Comma. Next frame while dot. Decrease playback rate. Less than shift plus.
alright, that's a shift plus comma for anyone who doesn't know what a less than is.
Increase playback rate greater than shift plus. Seek to specific point in the video. 7 advances to 70% of duration.
Ah, there we go. This was the one I was struggling with a minute ago because I thought 0 would take me to the end, but
0.9. Seek to previous chapter. Control plus left arrow. Seek to next chapter. Control plus right arrow. General. Toggle full screen. F. Toggle theater mode. T. Toggle mini player. I. Close mini player or current dialogue. Escape.
so there's not that many of these, so I'm just going to go through.
Toggle mute. M. Subtitles and closed captions. If the video supports C. Rotate through different text opacity. O. Rotate through different window opacity levels. W. Rotate through fonts. Plus. Rotate through font sizes decreasing. Dash. Spherical videos. Pan up. W.
So there's obviously a lot of keyboard shortcuts
Pan left.
here.
A. Pan down. S. Pan right. D. Zoom in. Plus on numpad R. Zoom out on numpad R.
Now, this is why I had my punctuation on a minute ago, is sometimes you have to read the full punctuations
Dismiss.
to get the most out of those. Alright, so those are the keyboard shortcuts. I will dismiss those.
I didn't hear the volume ones in there. And those, you can use volume up or down arrow keys.
Yeah, so you can use up and down arrow keys to decrease or increase the volume. And just like in that list, the left and right arrows and spacebar weren't in that list, but those also work. So here I'll press space to play the video.
Play.
And don't like this music right now. I'll press M to mute.
Muted.
Press M to unmute.
100 volume.
Go down arrow to make the volume lower. I don't know why that one's not
Basic
working.
HTML verses. Guide.
Maybe that's why they didn't put that keyboard shortcut in.
Pause.
That's strange. Works in Windows.
Play.
I mean,
Pause.
it has worked in my Chromebook before, but...
Play.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this.
Pause. Play.
There we go.
Pause.
So, let me go later into the video, because I want to hear what I sound like at different speeds.
Episode of this. It's the quick navigation toggle.
So I was just moving down around by percents here.
File
Let's go to
Explorer.
Windows Explorer.
Downloads.
I guess I just talk a lot.
Today.
Richards, I don't see.
Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, that was a Facebook Messenger. Anyways, so I'll press Shift and comma. So what I'm going to want to do here
Speed is 0.25.
is first, okay, Google.
Type.
That's what I sound like when I've had too much to drink. Okay, turn on Do Not Disturb.
Start a voice query. Answering on another device.
I'll
Pause.
pause this and then go faster.
Speed is 1. Speed is 1.25. Speed is 1.5. Speed is 1.75. Speed is 2. Speed is 2.
There, I guess that's as fast
Play.
as I should have done this earlier.
If you don't have a screen, I'll turn that on as well.
Volume.
Yeah, that's a
73%.
good point.
Speed off. Speed on.
Shift 7, I think.
Screen off.
There we go.
Pause. Sticky mode enabled.
Alright,
Sticky mode
I'm just trying to
disabled.
figure out why it's not letting me turn the volume up and down. That's very strange. Usually it does.
Maybe focus on the player somewhere on the pause button or something.
Okay, let's see.
Skip navigation. Guide. Skip navigate. Clear Siri. Default. Find in page. Videos. Deleted. Basic HTML. Basic HT. Basic HT. Basic HTML
Oh, it
versus
doesn't
standard
seem-
Gmail
let's
compare.
see.
Basic 90 bullet. Streamed live bullet. Basic 8 full screen F. Basic HT. Theater mode T. Default view T.
Okay, so I should be in the player now.
Theater
Alright, well,
mode
I got that in
T.
Facebook message.
Default 90 volume.
I guess there are the there most we professional go. wonders in the world. But one of the things I'm going to want to show here is, so like I just got to the Gmail Let me page.
Oh,
Slow this down. And I have this email open up.
Pause. Speed is 1.75. Speed is 1.
In
Okay.
basic HTML,
85
if I
volume.
wanted to go to the
80
inbox,
volume.
I would have to
75
go to the
volume.
top of the page, open up my
50
screen, I'll make the
30,
volume go
25
Control
volume.
F or down very
15
low,
volume.
Caps Lock F or whatever. So apparently Command opens not up all the virtual keyboard line. shortcuts work if the Type player's not in inbox. focus. That makes sense.
10
but
volume.
most
5
of them
volume.
still do.
10
Press enter
volume.
again on the
15
inbox
volume.
link.
30 volume.
And you can get to the
50,
point where this
60,
game makes this back.
85,
You know,
90,
you think it's going
100
fast because you're so
100
used to
volume.
it. But watch this. I have an email open right now. To go to inbox, I'm just going to press G. And then to go to the next video, Shift N.
Start a
goes in the
text
list
query.
of videos on the
Text
channel.
input.
So here.
Next.
Come on, you can play.
Seek slider. 0 minutes 2 seconds of 36 minutes 13 seconds. Min 0. Max 2000. Windows 11 screen reader demo. Heading 1.
Okay, so it brought me to, I guess it was just cycling through the videos on the channel here.
Pause. Play.
I can press
Maybe
Shift
that
here.
started with silence.
It must have done.
Hello.
Apple event 9
Hello.
slash 2021. Linux guide.
Come on.
Skip
no, mine's not
navigation.
playing. Let's see.
Pause. Play.
Okay.
Okay. Looks
Windows
like
11
got...
screen reader demo.
There we go. So
Heading
it's
1.
it's playing the Windows 11 screen reader demo. Let me go back to the previous
Hello,
video
Dennis.
by Shift P.
Previous. Previous.
Looks like I can't hear you.
Pause.
It's interesting why that one's not working.
Full
Usually
screen
it does.
F.
Let's see.
Mini player settings. Has pop up. Theater mode T. Theater mode T. Default view T. Print save. Save.
Oh no, I
save.
did Control P. Let's not do that.
Theater mode T. Default view T. Theater mode T. Pause. Play. Previous.
All right.
Windows 11. Next. YouTube video player.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Exactly.
Okay, so then it moves up to the next one here, which is
Apple event 9
So,
slash
you know,
2021.
I'm.
Linux. Next.
Are we
YouTube
going to go to the
video player.
R1?
so it's just cycling through the videos on the channel now.
Pause.
Anyways, so I hope that gives you an idea of what you can do with the keyboard shortcuts here in the YouTube app. And it's like, none of this is anything you can't do if you're just watching these on your phone, or you're just doing it on your computer without turning off your virtual PC cursor. But this functionality is a lot more efficient and a lot more seamless, as you saw. Even though some of the keyboard shortcuts you have to actually have have your cursor be on the area of the page that they apply to, like how I couldn't change the volume without my screen focus being in the player window. But even that, like once I figured that out, that's a lot faster than, trying to navigate around the page by button or heading and then find the volume control, or so it's just a much more efficient way of watching YouTube videos. And as with any web app, there's a little bit of a learning curve finding the shortcuts, which is why that question mark key is so useful. But like even me not having used these really for more than the last, I think I started really using web apps when I got this Chromebook a couple months ago. It's already a much quicker way of doing a lot of things on the internet than I was used to before. And like I said, the thing I like about the Chromebook is I can use the keyboard shortcuts and still use the regular screen reader commands without having to keep moving backward and forward between browse modes, and that gets cumbersome, and that's part of why I didn't really use it with JAWS or NVDA before. But yeah, I hope that helped you see why web apps can be very powerful, and that was a demo of YouTube Video Player on the web.
Yep, so with JAWS and NVDA, they do have the ability to turn off the quick navigation keys, which I'm not sure that really saves you any time, versus just turning off the virtual cursor or the browse mode. But you can pass along keystrokes directly to the web app. But yeah, to your point, you can't really use H for heading and the web app commands at the same time, whereas with something like Narrator or Chrome, you simply add the search key or the caps lock key, and you can do those things. So, yeah, that is definitely true. I use these commands all the time for YouTube, and of course YouTube Music has its own commands that are somewhat similar to those, and some other ones too. all these commands like Gmail and some of these things that we're covering, just trying to make it easier and more productive for you, and make it so that you're using a screen reader or computer in a more intuitive way, and something that's more efficient, and something that is kind of the new way of doing things. Frankly, a lot of trainers are still teaching the old methods for doing things, and not really touching on web apps. And I think that's unfortunate. So, if you are a trainer, you need to consider teaching web apps soon, now, yesterday, last year, because these are, there are more and more of them out there, and they do actually make things, I would say, more accessible and more efficient in a lot of ways.
They do. So it's interesting. I have a good friend who is a tech trainer, and he got a Chromebook about the same time I did. And his comment to me after about a week of using it was, man, I have never taught my students how to turn off their JAWS cursor or their virtual PC cursor.
Right.
And it's like, he's one of the most tech-savvy people I know, and he just hadn't considered it before, where now he's like, yeah, I'm just incorporating this into my training because it's a more efficient way. And
it is kind of a hard concept when someone is starting out, because I do train people, and one of the harder things is for a user to understand, why do you turn it off? When do you turn it off? When do you turn it on? And I think that screen readers should work better with web developers to make sure that this is more of an automatic thing. But really, it is, it's not an easy concept to teach, but it's a necessary concept. It's something that if you want to know how to use a computer, I really think that you need to learn web apps and get acquainted with this, because there are still a lot of people that really think that if you're not using Outlook or you're not using Thunderbird, then you need to be using basic HTML, for example, in emails, and that in order to find the pause button on YouTube, you have to tab around to find it, and YouTube Music is too cluttered. Like, I hear these things all the time from people. Google Docs is not accessible. Chromebooks are not accessible.
Yeah. But to the point about Chromebooks, this is actually why I think a Chromebook is a very good computing tool for blind people, even though it doesn't have maybe as many screen reading tricks up its sleeve as like your JAWS or NVDA, but it actually automatically just kind of forces you to do things in this more seamless way with web apps, where other screen readers you have to actively know when to turn things on and turn things off. But with the Chromebook, it's just kind of right there, and like it knows when you need to type, and you find the keyboard shortcuts, and it's all much more simple than with your other screen readers, where you're having to constant things and know when to change the settings. Like, it seems like that would be a good way to start training people on these. Frankly, it's like,
absolutely, yeah, especially high school students, because their peers are already using Chromebooks. And what I find a lot of vision teachers doing is, oh, well, it's not accessible, so we're just going to give you an iPad or an iPhone. And yeah, I mean, phones and tablets are getting more powerful, but their peers are using Chromebooks, so why not teach Chromebooks and web apps? And the skills for web apps, if you learn them on a Chromebook, they're going to transfer to a PC or a Mac or Linux.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're going to be the same keyboard commands that we're showing, either with NVDA or Chrome. They're going to work the same for these web apps.
After I got my Chromebook, I started using standard Gmail view at work, and the same keyboard shortcuts. Like, everything works the same way. So
yeah, and we also touch on Google products, but Microsoft has their own web apps. They have Office 365, and they have keyboard shortcuts. Being able to navigate through the ribbon and access stuff within that. Facebook and Twitter, they have their own shortcuts. A lot of these sites have their own shortcuts, and so it's just a matter of discovering them and figuring out if this particular site is a web app. Reddit's a lot easier to navigate with its keyboard shortcuts.
I bet, yeah.
rather than just trying to go down the page. But if you like getting into down rabbit holes and learning new things on Reddit or reading threads about the Pixel 6 problems, for example, just being able to use Reddit and many of the keyboard shortcuts like J to go to next and K to go to backwards, they might seem strange, but they're used across platform. So, yep. Anyway, we could babble on about web apps, and we'll keep showing you them because I think they're important. And if you have any comments or questions, suggestions, please let us know. We're sorry that the Android demo did not work out, and I'll try to demo that on a machine that actually has Windows Beta, not Dev, for some reason. And anyway, next week should be interesting. Probably do a Pixel unboxing, and we'll see what else. We'll get up to something else, I'm sure.
Yeah, we were going to demo mobile word processors at some point.
Yes. So we'll probably do that next week. We'll do mobile word processors and see how productive you can actually be on mobile. I think you might find that Kurt and I maybe have a little bit of diverging opinions on the productivity on mobile. But I think we'll see.
We'll see, yeah. And as far as Android apps, I wonder if, I guess let us know if you want us to delve into them more on Chromebooks, because like what I've found is when they work really well, and it is really, really cool to be able to like use Messenger or Clubhouse or whatever other thing that I'm normally doing on my phone. Like, in some ways it makes my Chromebook even more powerful than, like, a Windows computer. At least, like, easily powerful. But then when they don't work, it's just a mess. And they're freezing a lot, and your keyboard shortcuts decide that they worked great for the last 3 days, and then they're going to stop working. And so it's like, I expect in the Windows world it'll probably be that same kind of a mixed bag, but they are still a good addition to have, I think.
Yeah, so to wrap this up, I'll go through some of the comments that we got last week. I forgot to do that at the beginning, but let's see here. What comments did we get last week? Iris Girl 86 commented. Iris Girl 86 Music. Whoever you are, thank you for watching. The comment says, thank you for doing this video. I too was a long-time user of the basic HTML interface, although I did use the standard view for Gmail sometimes to configure more Gmail settings and stuff. One day I was searching through the archive of one of the screen reader groups on groups.io, and I saw Nimmer's message explaining how standard view is more powerful than basic HTML, and that there are a lot of keyboard shortcuts you can use. I immediately went and tried it out and realized that they were 100% correct, and I have barely used basic HTML since then. I can certainly see how the basic HTML interface is more simplistic and less cluttered, but you definitely miss out on things if you don't use standard view. I really do love Gmail, webmail, and I see no reason to use the desktop email client again in the foreseeable future. Excellent. Thank you very much for that comment, and do what Iris does and stop using basic HTML. Give it the old kish. Let's see here. We got a email or a comment from Paramala. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Very important topic. This is a very important topic today. Yeah, I agree. Thank you very much for watching. And for your comments. So if you want to leave comments, feel free to throw them in the bottom comments section, and we'll definitely try to answer those or read those out, etc. And let's see if we have any more comments in the chat. Nope, doesn't look like it. All right, Kurt, it's been another marathon.
Yeah.
Hopefully all you guys brought your popcorn along, and it's probably getting dry now, so maybe time for the drinks. I don't know. But Kurt, thank you very much for being on. And
absolutely.
Yep, and thank you for the new subscriptions. I think we had like 10 to 15 people subscribe over the past week. Thank you very much. Keep it up. Share it out with your friends. Tweet it, snack, chap it, whatever it is that you do. Thank you for coming on with us. We'll see you all next week. And, yep, goodbye.